Alright, it's been a while, motherfuckers. Did you miss me? Cause I know I have. And it's a sad day, man. It's a motherfucking sad day. It's today's the Mashujaa day, and this one is a Mashujaa Day special from Anonymous team. And I have a lot of shujas, man. I have a lot of shujas, but I think I can comfortably say that Raila Odinga, well, he's not among the top of those shujas. He's at the bottom of those shujas, but if my top 1, 2, and 3 shujas are at 110%, then Raila Odinga is at 100%, man. 100% Shujaa for Anonymous team. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I really am. You know, in 2007, during the 2007 elections, rather 2007 presidential winner announcement, Raila was leading by over 1 million votes. All right. This was back when before IEBC. What was that? I think it was called the Kenyan Electoral Commission, if I'm not wrong. And I'll need to do some research to confirm the details. I was pretty young. I was 14. Was it 14 or 13? About there, around there. I think. Yeah, it was. I was 14. No, I was 13. Oh shit. Okay. So yeah, so around that time, the head of that commission was called Kivuitu, and I think when the government saw that this was going to be a landslide win for Raila Odinga, lights went out. Not for us watching the TV. Lights went out where the commission was. Yeah. I think lights went out everywhere. Man, my details are a bit scanty, but I'm not telling you what I read or what I heard from someone. I'm telling you what I saw. So yeah, so lights went out, and by the time the lights came back, it was Kibaki was leading by those million votes, and I don't think people waited, man. All hell broke loose. All hell broke loose, say, and Anito Nani. Martha Karua was in PNU at that time. That was Kibaki's political party. So I'm taking you guys through a little bit of history, and for you guys to know who this Raila dude is, all right? Because most of you stupid Gen Zs came to know of Raila post. Is it post or pre? Post 2007, all right? Yeah, so Martha Karua was part of PNU, and let nobody lie to you that Martha Karua is a good person. Anyone who sided with Kibaki at that time, to me, that's not a good person, all right? Anyone who sided with Kibaki to shed thousands of innocent people's lives is not a good person. All because of a motherfucking seat. Fuck no. All right. So yeah, so all hell breaks loose. I think Ruto was there, like, but unajua everyone there, we can't say people were fighting for their respective candidates. Will say, I can say people were fighting for their interests, personal interests. Because remember, if Raila had become president, it would benefit William Ruto greatly. If Kibaki would become president, it would benefit Martha Karua greatly, all right? Yeah, so fast forward, all hell breaks loose in the country. Violence breaks out. I thank God before that we used to live in a place called Mathare North, but we had moved to Umoja. So in Umoja, there wasn't, I can actually say there was no violence in Umoja, apart from one incident where they actually burnt, some people burnt someone's car. But I guess that was controlled, all right? But you see, Mathare area, all those poverty-stricken areas, the slums, Mathare, the entire of Mathare, the Mathare slums and Mathare estates, there was a lot of violence. The Mungiki, who had stopped operation, or rather who are not on the headlines after Moi's candidate Uhuru Kenyatta had lost, came out of the woodworks, wherever the hell they were hiding. And yeah, man, it was a mayhem, killing of children. And not just that, not just in the slums. So the violence was mainly concentrated in the slums, the poverty-stricken areas here in Nairobi, and in the villages, especially the strongholds, the two candidates. So since the Kales and the Luos were together at that time, bro. Kikuyus couldn't stay around those areas. People were killed, children were killed, women were done the art thing. You know, I'm trying to avoid mentioning it because of YouTube guidelines and shit. Right? Women were done the art thing, bruh. There's a specific lady. I think she appeared at Jeff Koinange. She's appeared at multiple interviews. She was done the art thing. She got a baby from that. She doesn't know who the father of that baby was, because it was multiple men who did that thing to her, all right? So she ended up growing hating that child. That was one of the saddest, that was one of the saddest, what do you call it? One of the saddest stories that I've had, because I remember when this lady came to Jeff Koinange live some time back, even with the way she was talking to the child, even at that particular interview, even with the way that baby was looking at the mom, you could tell that this child is going through a very traumatic experience with the mother, right? And personally, if you ask me, I digress kidogo. Personally, if you ask me, I understand that art thing, you know. I cannot even sit down and try to fathom, you know, the emotions, the stress that the victim goes through. But at the end of the day, if you've gone ahead to carry that child, if you've gone ahead to give birth to that child, I mean, at the end of the day, this human being came from your womb, regardless of the situation. Why the fuck would you show hatred to that human being? So for me, I've always felt like there's no excuse. I'm sorry. I know the art thing is a very traumatic experience. I understand, and I stand with you guys, but no, it's not an excuse to hate a child if you've gotten a child through that process. Hatred zingine zinatokananga na poverty, you know. Hatred zingine zinatokanga na poverty. Unajichukia juu you feel like you're so poor to the extent that something happened to you that you never got justice, which I also understand, that probably you'll never get justice because you're poor. Maybe the entire process of carrying this baby, delivering this baby was difficult because you're poor. So you just end up kutolea hizi frustrations zote mtoto, which is not good. You'd rather give up that child you'd rather give out that child to a children's home or something, deal with your issues, and then once you've healed, then you can take your baby. So I digress kidogo. So back to the 2007 elections. So yeah, about 3 months, there's constant fighting. People die. Kibaki doesn't Kibaki doesn't concede. As a matter of fact, Martha Karua is part of the people who go to swear in Kibaki like a coward in State House. This is Kibaki. This is the same Kibaki you people praise. Mi nasemanga, if someone is responsible for a death, the death of someone, and I know what some of you stupid Gen Zs are going to say. What about Raila? No, Raila is not responsible for the death of Gen Zs. Not at all. Raila came to stabilize the situation. If Raila had stayed away like you stupid people had told him to, this country would have gone to chaos. Because Raila has worked with Ruto. Raila knows Ruto. This guy does not budge. Nyi mnadhani Ruto ni nani nyinyi bana? You know? And I'm not saying this from a point of reverence to Ruto. I'm just saying, man, bro, this guy, have you ever watched the movie called The Godfather? You guys need to go and watch the movie called The Godfather, and not the first movie. Okay, you can watch the first part 1 for context, but I need you guys to watch part 2 of The Godfather, when Al Pacino becomes the new Godfather after his father dies. I want you guys to watch how Ruto moves and watch how the Godfather moves. Carbon copy, say. This guy has studied. From what I've seen, I think this guy has studied Initwaji, the Prince. I think this guy has studied the Prince. Nani Babu Winot Pia has studied the Prince. These people are violence. They know that violence is the only solution. These people are not statesmen. These people are mafias. Unacheki? Alright? So back again, nilidigress kidogo. So back again to history ya nani. Vita. Kibaki goes his son in like a coward by kina Martha Karua and all. Vita still continues. Then, when Kofi Annan comes to mediate, Raila Odinga, who was the winner and who was supposed to be is it third president? Yeah, and who was supposed to be our third president? He goes and, for the sake of the people, he chooses to take a position that was underneath him, and that was the prime minister position. And even fast forward in 2013, for the 2013 elections, Kibaki, who owed Raila, never endorsed him, bro. Remember, it was because of Raila saying Kibaki Tosha that these people got to unseat Moi, or Moi's candidate, rather. So, for the sake of the people, because of too much bloodshed, Raila chose to give up what was rightfully his because of for the sake of the people. And there's an interview of, or rather it's not an interview, there's a conversation of Dr. Kingori and some dude back when Dr. Kingori was at the Wicked Edition, where he says he was once at Miguna's house, and Miguna explained to him some of the events that led to Raila becoming prime minister post 2007. Everyone in the ODM camp was like, no, let people die. We won rightfully. There's no other way other than you becoming president. Everyone, including Miguna himself. As a matter of fact, Miguna describes Raila to Kingori as a coward. Raila is not a coward. He's just good is an exaggeration, but he's just a reasonable man, and he's a patriot. So he said, no, too many people have died. for the sake of the people, I'll let it go. Unaona? So yeah, nani, for the sake of the people, Raila, let's go of what is his banner. You motherfucking stupid Gen Zs need to give Raila his respect. You need to put some respect on Raila's name. Just because you felt betrayed last year doesn't give you the authority. When people go to war, people die, man. It's sad, but it's the unfortunate reality. When we go for maandamanos, when we go for demonstrations here in Kenya, it's like going for a war. People die. I was at the June 25th maandamanos. It was a strong conscious decision that I made to get out of my house to go for the demonstrations because I knew possible outcomes. And I tried my level best to at least avoid that outcome that everyone else dreaded. But in the event that it would have come, then who am I, man? I don't have control of these things. It's unfortunate that in this country, maandamanos are like war. People go, people come back. Some people go, some people leave their families and they don't get to go back home to their families. It's so unfortunate. So yeah, I liken it to war. In war, people die. It's unfortunate, but it's unfair, but it's the unfortunate truth. So you can't blame a man who his entire life has seen innocent Kenyans dying. You can't blame this man for choosing to come in and try his level best to save the situation. Don't forget, Raila was old and he was ailing at the time. But still he was speaking out in as much as he was in this, can we call it a broad-based government or something? As much as he was in this broad-based government, he was still attacking Ruto, or rather speaking out against Ruto's evil acts like killing and abducting innocent youth. Raila served 9 freaking years in jail for multiparty rule. He was castrated, for God's sake, in the prison. He was beaten by a guard that his left eye never healed from it, even after operation some years back. It would still cry. You know? Yeah? The 2010 Constitution, the 2010 Constitution was made possible by Raila. The democracy you motherfuckers enjoy was made possible by Raila. Let me tell you guys something. If it wasn't for Raila, hiyo June 25th maandamano mnashindanga mkisema iti aliwa betray. It wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Raila. You motherfuckers wouldn't have gone out with those smartphones of yours and those KFC, whatever, chickens of yours, if it wasn't for Raila. You'd have stayed home and watched those politicians approve the finance bill. Put some respect on Raila's name. Man is to err, but it doesn't change who the fuck that man is, man. So on this October 20th, 2025, Mashujaa Day, Raila Amolo Odinga is my Mashujaa. Ningikwe Jacob. Ningikwe Wonping. Ningikwe Tinga. Ningikwe Baba. Ningikwe Hama. Joey.